福利。
Secretary for Labor and Welfare. President, I move the second reading of the Employment Amendment Bill 2025, or the bill for short. The bill seeks to revise the working hours threshold of the continuous contract requirement under the Employment Ordinance Cap 57 or EO, making it easier for employees to meet the revised continuous contract requirement and thus be able to enjoy comprehensive employment benefits. Since the enactment of the Employment Ordinance, the EO, in 1968, the continuous contract requirement has been put in place to establish the legal obligation of employers offering employment benefits to employees who provide a relatively more stable and considerable level of service. The current provision provides that employees employed by the same employer continuously for 4 weeks or more and having worked for 18 hours or more per week, commonly referred to as the 418 requirement, are regarded as being engaged under a continuous contract. Employees need to be engaged under a continuous contract and meet certain conditions, such as years of service, before they are entitled to such benefits as statutory holiday pay, paid annual leave, sickness allowance, statutory maternity leave, statutory paternity leave, severance payment, and long service payment. Otherwise, employees are only entitled to basic protection under the EO, including payment of wages, restrictions of wages, deductions, and granting of statutory holidays, etc. In accordance with the current provisions, except for the circumstances provided for under the EO, if an employee works for less than 18 hours in a week, this constitutes a break in the continuous contract. The amendment bill proposes to lower the weekly working hours threshold from 18 hours to 17 hours and provide an alternative of using the aggregate working hours in 4 weeks as a counting unit. A week with less than 17 working hours will be counted towards a continuous employment period if the sum of the working hours of that week and those of the 3 weeks immediately preceding that week reaches 68 hours. A consensus has been reached with the Labor Advisory Board. Since the enactment of the EO, the threshold of the continuous contract requirement has been 18 hours per week. This amendment lowers the weekly working hours threshold and also introduces an alternative of using the aggregate working hours in a specified 4-week period as a counting unit to enhance the flexibility of the continuous contract requirement. Other provisions under the amended EO will continue to apply. The eligibility criteria for different employment benefits under the EO will remain intact. Employees who meet the 418 requirements now are not affected. When the bill is passed, the amendment bill will take effect on the first Sunday 6 months after the bill is gazetted, giving ample time for employers and employees to prepare. The government will fully support the Council in the scrutiny of the bill. I urge members to support the bill to benefit employees as soon as possible. Thank you, President. And I propose the question to you that the aforesaid bill be read the second time. In accordance with the rules of procedure, the second reading debate is adjourned and the bill is referred to the House Committee.